Welcome to the Gentleman Cave, where we don't treat men, we treat gentlemen. On today's topic, we're gonna talk about a reason that my friend here is very passionate and very good at it. Actually, is the reason and the purpose of why you should read a book. Something that I know very little, and something that I've been trying to fix my entire life within at this point. But hopefully, with this theme going on and the book that you gave me, I will actually start changing that.
Yeah,
But
hopefully you will begin.
okay, give me the reasons why they should read a book.
So I think the main reason that I think everybody should read a book is just the fact that you create a habit. Habits are good, so it's important to just create habits, especially positive habits, things that will help you in the long run. So I think that's one of the first ones that I would recommend. But the second one is also to have an open. When you um, start reading books, it opens your mind. It's very broad. You start I guess seeing things very different. You see, and everything look your way of seeing things just change.
Okay,
Shifts a lot.
okay,
So that is something that I would recommend and helps a lot because I would say it's you get smarter, but I want to say more like opening because you really see things.
I think that the term smart is very poorly used lately. So
Yeah.
let's use even more cultural knowledge.
Exactly. Okay, we can use that one. And I would say that the following with that one is that expands your knowledge. So you can be probably one that you like reading history books, but in school you learn just very little. That's that. And then when you start reading more books, you learn more about it. And it's actually you learn even things that people don't know. Like people might not even know. And then it opens your idea of things and something very different.
Okay, but for example, for me, I actually do read books to fall asleep. I actually have a book in my night shelf where I usually, when I have insomnia, I open it, I start read like a
Wow.
page, and I'm out. Very not proud of it, but it works. So, what are reasons? Sorry, what are like ways that I can actually break that thing and I start reading a book?
So I think the first thing I would say is just begin with a book you like. Gotta pick something. So it's gotta be something that you gotta be interested about. It. Something that catch your attention. And the best way that I would say it is not even just scrolling. I know that we live in hard times right now because of the pandemic. But something that I liked was just going to a bookstore and walking. And go through the books and just take the first one that you walk.
That you feel.
Yeah,
You
see
have a
one
feeling.
and you be like, well, I think this is interesting.
Okay.
And then I would say just read the introduction, the preface. That way you can decide. But I think that the thing that you can do is that not pick something that is heavy material.
Okay, explain heavy.
So when I mean heavy material, I would say more like dense material. So think that as any book that the language is not something that you can easily read at first.
Okay.
So think it is. So I would say think that about anything that is in previous history. So anything like philosophy, like the Bible, anything where the language is not something that you
Yeah,
really
very like old sack in the
Yeah,
age.
I think anything cultural from very back in the old times,
Alright.
that would be something that is kind of hard. Also because if you pick something that is big, like a book that is so many pages or something like that, it can be a little bit hard to continue. Because if you see the book is a little bit small, it's like, well, I have
This
it's
is
kind of
true.
weird.
Okay,
But when the book is big and the material is very big,
I was gonna say that like for me something that I for sure I think I have a book somewhere in the house where it's like very thick. I got it as a present. Of course, a person didn't know me very well. Um, I always look at it. I'm like, I think it's like 500 pages. I really don't want to read
it
500
looks
pages.
daunting, right?
Like I'm sorry, but no,
Exactly.
it just looks like no.
So with that follows my next point that I bring to is that you gotta make sure that you wanna pick books that the chapters are easy to read. Because when you pick a book that is very small or short, whatever you want to call it, it's kind of some a task that you feel like I can do it. It's a task that you're like, well, I can read this book in let's say 2 months, 3 months. I can have it done. When the task is too big, when the book is too big, sorry, it's kind of hard. It's kind of like reading something. And then if you put it in micro places, think about the chapter. If the chapter is small, 2 to 3 pages, it's only gonna take about 20 to 30 minutes the most if you want to take the time. When it's so big and you're reading constantly, sometimes you can even get burned out, or you don't even want to read a book. too long.
What would be a good amount of pages that you say like a chapter should have, like on average? I would say like try to get a book that is 5 pages, 10 pages, 2 pages.
On
1
average,
page.
yeah, I would say 5 pages. I think it's the one. If it is a history one, it might get to like 10
Okay.
because that's your history.
Yeah,
When
more
it's history,
details, more
yes.
stuff. Okay.
But I would say if you can do five pages, I would say between the 3 and 5, it's like the best spot. Because like you get enough material that you feel like you read something, but then you feel comfortable about it because you feel like you can tackle that.
Okay.
Um,
Something that for me, at least, I really don't know a lot about this. Like I know a lot of knowledge. I think I'm a very cultural person, but my knowledge comes from videos, from articles, from short passages. So, what are like some good recommendations that you can give me to start reading?
well, I would say that like any book that, like, for example, I'll just give you the Daily Stoic. If anybody is
Oh, yeah.
interested, Daily Stoic is like a book where every day there's a page and you read that page. So what it is that it takes passages from these famous philosophers. And you read a little bit of that, but then you read the portion, like explanation and everything that it talks about. So those books is pretty easy. It's just one page. How long does it take to read it?
Me because I'm a slow reader, like 8 minutes or less.
But that's 8 minutes. We got 24 hours.
Yeah, you can make time for 8 minutes.
So any book that has the 365, that has like that, like one page per day, can be really easy to read. I would also recommend any book that you can stuff like in a first. Think about it.
Okay,
So
I like
books
that.
that are that small that reading the pages, reading the chapters won't feel like you're taking something big.
Okay, I like that.
The next one that I would say is just any history book. Like we all like history and we love. There's something. There's a point in life
That you like
that
about
you
it.
will like about it. You want to read about.
I do gonna like jump into that one and not say only like history, but maybe cultural aspect of something. For example, I'm big into traditions. I like to know about traditions. I think they're fascinating, they're unique. They teach you about history and about the culture. So maybe, for example, if you're like me, I like, for example, let's throw a Japanese culture against indigenous culture of Latin America. Maybe that's something that a book can be also like you can find a book that you like that is not history per se, but it's in a cultural aspect.
Yeah, anything that piques your interest. Like as soon as it piques your interest, and you're like, well, I want to read about this. I want to see what this is about. Then you will definitely read. And with that, it's just a matter of just finding something. Just there's gotta be something that you wanna be interested in. Okay. Now, the one that I will recommend, which is I think a book that people recommend all the time, is just How to Win Friends and Influence People. Why? Besides the fact that it's just very recommended, and you're gonna see it. Everybody has recommended it. It's one of the
I
best.
think every release is it.
It's one of the best-selling books. It's the fact that it's easy to read, and not only that, you're all interested in reading and understanding what it talks about. How to just be more likable. And that's something that I think we all want to do in life.
I think everyone should have friends. I think it's an important aspect of like having like a social life. So for sure, knowing how to make friends and how to maintain them because that's the other part of the book. Like the book talks also about how to maintain them.
Yeah.
Like a couple chapters of that book have helped me in this friendship, maintaining it.
And not
And
only
it's
that,
like okay, let me think about this.
yeah, and it helps you with like the how do I say it? Like kind of like how to approach it best. How do you approach somebody the best way possible to create the best positive impact? Yes. And not only in friends, but in the office, and when it comes to like any kind of environment that you're implicated. Like, that's what I beautiful about this book. And like I would say that that's the one book that like if you start there, it's a good spot.
Now, for someone who is like you, for example, watching this video, I would consider you advanced reader at this point.
Thank you.
You read like three books at the same time. You read every day. Like, I think that's an advanced reading. What are 3 books that you recommend that you're like, look, this some of them may not be as easy, but they're worth your while.
Um, well, first one I would say is just breaking the habit of doing yourself. That's the one I recently read it, and it's just an amazing book. If you're interested about like kind of like how your brain works, but like in a very like habit wise, I think it's just It's a little bit hard sometimes reading the book, but it's an amazing book. It's not popular. Like people don't really find a book, and like it's not one book that people like recommend. But I would definitely suggest it. Now, the one that I do recommend, but it's a little bit hard to read, is Meditations. So that's
Yeah, you told me about that one.
that's based on the Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher of Stoicism, the most popular one, Stoicism. And that's a book that it takes a while to like
To
read.
pick it up.
Yeah, because you
I
gotta,
know. Like let's break this thing down. From someone whose his major was a lot of reading involved, like saying like this book is not hard to read. It's like I know I will get so lost in that book.
yeah, it's a little bit hard, but like I said, if you like once you learn how to read books, then that's a good book. That's an amazing book. Once you get used to it and you put the effort to it, and like that's one of the books that I would say do it. Um, to me, the one that I do like is just a real one. It's called the Productivity Project,
Okay.
and that one is just like the How to Influence in Script. It's the same way. It's just basically you have um, every chapter, and every chapter is like 2 to 3 pages, and then every chapter gives you a new tip how to be more productive, how to like organize yourself. So
Okay.
one of the ones that I take it to still to this day is that you gotta measure how much food you're eating every day. Because if you eat very light food, you're probably gonna have a headache very soon. You're probably gonna crave food more. But if you eat too heavy of the food, you slow down because now you get lazy. You don't wanna work. You don't wanna move if you're doing stuff.
That's definitely not wrong.
So so yeah, so that book is just like that one, and it gives you little tips on how to like be more productive, and with that allows you to do more stuff. So like that's one of the books that I would recommend. I would say those are my favorite ones.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So for a recap, is the how to win friends and people. That's for like a beginner type of style. And another one is the daily stocks, which I will recommend that one actually because I just started it, and as I say, I'm not a big reader, and I can have minutes of my day I can dedicate to a page of that. And the pages are somewhat easy to read and they're meaningful, so I like the idea
Yeah,
of that.
there is.
Meditations is one that you recommend,
I recommend if anybody can do it.
but that needs to be like a medium reader.
Yeah, like don't make it your. You can make it your first pick, but
It's gonna be a little rougher. And I like the productivity project. I think I've never heard you talk about that.
Yeah, I read it a while ago. So
Okay.
I read it a long time ago, and like I still read it to this day, and I can't remember some of it.
Some of those tips, nice. Okay, I like that. So yeah, there you have it. As I say, I truly try to change that aspect of my life. I read a lot, but I read articles. I read a lot of articles per day, but that's the thing. I like 1 2 pages.
Yeah.
I'm done with this. I don't like a book. A book I think is always like so slavery.
Yeah, I mean it could be slavery, but I would say that reading books is like one of the best things that ever happened to me, and like I think it's a great habit. There's a lot of benefits about it, but it's just overall it's just good, you know, and it helps. And I think it's something that if you can do it, like it makes a difference, and you're gonna see the progress from starting to reading, like to the point where you can like read a lot and you like know a lot because you know it basically makes you smarter and you think different.
That makes you feel nice.
Yes.
So yeah. So guys, make sure that you follow us, subscribe us. Let us know in the comments what other topic you would like to
Put it down below in the comments. Just let us
Yes,
know
the
what
topic.
you guys like to see, what you guys like want to know about it, and then you know it might be in the next video and we will discuss about it. Make sure you liked it. Make sure you press on the like button, please. That helps
and
us a
hit the
lot.
the notification thingy. That is, I always find it weird, but
Put the notifications so you always follow us and know when the next video is coming.
Exactly.
Okay. See you guys.
thank you.